You ain't gon' believe this. It's your boy Squint talking that shit. Go and tell him what it is. Just a man and his podcast. Thank you all for tuning in. One by one, or it's a tag match. Either way for me, cause I'ma make a bloodbath. TST, make you see stars when I throw hands. Keep on spitting bars after bars, like the cage, man. I'ma get the Hardy.
What's up, you guys? It's your boy Squints here with another episode of A Man and His Podcast. Today we have a very special guest, a very dead guest. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Me as the panther dressed in blackface. There's no chance she's coming back. I am the enthusiast, Big Man Chan. And it's great to be on A Man and His Podcast. I am so hyped for this. I have not been on the podcast at all. The only podcasts I've really been on were like for 01, but this is like my second podcast. So I'm hyped.
Let's fucking go. I do want to say this is live streamed. So chat, if you have anything you want to say, comment, just
Definitely.
do whatever. Leave it in the comments. I'll go ahead and show them on the little screen down here, and we'll point it out. I did say about 5 minutes ago on Twitter that we were going to start this episode off. There is one man I want you to say 3 nice things about, and his name is Deathwish Anakin Murphy. Three nice things. Three nice things about.
Does it have to be 3?
It has to be at minimum 3. If you want to go, if you want to.
Man, I would say the first thing I'd have to say about him, he's creative. He's I'm trying to think of the word here. What's that word? Outgoing and supportive, like straight up. Anakin is probably one of like my best friends in this business, and this dude has shown nothing but support to me and has been there for me no matter what. And like, I'm not not trying to glaze the man or anything, but Anakin Murphy is probably one of the like smartest minds I've ever met in wrestling, and he's a true friend. He's very true and will tell you how he feels if you ask him. Like, he's very honest. So doesn't sugarcoat a damn thing. I know that.
That is all facts. No, Anakin, you put the word right into my took the words right out of my mouth. Anakin is one of the nicest and, like you said, creative and outgoing and just what's that? Versatile? Is that a word? Yeah. Like, you put him in a technical up against somebody that's a technical wrestler, he'll go in there and have a technical match. You put him up against Gary J, he'll strike with Gary. But you put him in a death match, he'll have a death match. He is that fucking guy.
He is that guy.
But let me ask more about you, Chan. Who is Chan Smith?
Man, I'm still trying to figure that out. No. Chan Smith is a 23-year-old from a small town in Illinois called Taylorville. I've always wanted to live out my dream of being in professional wrestling, whether it be in the ring, being a manager, being a ring announcer. I just wanted to be a part of professional wrestling. I'm here to live my dream and basically fuck everybody else. So if you don't support me, get the fuck on, basically.
I think the first time I met you was at 01 War Games.
Yep.
And I was just talking to Rob. And then Rob was like talking about the podcast to me or some shit. And then you just like in the middle of me and Rob talking, you go, wait a fucking minute. You're the podcast guy. And I was like, yeah, that's me. That's me.
Yeah. So I've watched your podcast and stuff on Twitter, and I never really realized that was you until that day. I was like, wait a fucking minute. That's Squints, the podcast guy.
I didn't realize it was you because like you called Anakin on the phone on the way to the show. And I was like, who the fuck's Anakin talking to? And then I was like, oh, wait a fucking minute. Wait a minute. Because I think me and you've been at the same show at the same time 2 or 3 times prior to that. And we never knew.
We never spoke, or like, all the thing we probably did was like, oh, hey, I'm Chan. Nice to meet you.
Yeah. Just did a little brother handshake. Brother handshake. So I want to talk about Anakin Murphy's tax return Pro Wrestling. He's
Oh.
had 2 shows for it, and you were a part of both of them in one way or
Yes.
another. The first one, you got shot. You died. You quite literally died.
Sadly, I did die. I passed away that night in Springfield Memorial Hospital. It was a very sad night. They got my body transported all the way there, and the doctors they tried what they could have done, And I will say thank you to the Lord above for bringing me back for this podcast. I'm excited. I'm here to talk about everything. We can bury the territories. We can bury each other. Hell, bury the business.
Bury the business. What you said before the podcast was you said I'm here to get canceled, and we're gonna try not to have that happen. We can't cancel a dead guy.
You can't cancel death.
Can't cancel this guy either. I wore the nicest shirts for this episode. Wore the nicest shirt.
All right. All right.
Anyways, second Tex Return Pro Wrestling show was No Ring, No Hope. And I just want to ask, how was it ring announcing for a no ring death match? Or no ring show in general? Like, that had to
Honestly, it was a dream come true because I've always had it on my goal list to announce no ring / deathmatch shows. I got to ring announce Anna Fight Underground. They do a couple death matches here and there, but this was strictly a hardcore music deathmatch show. I was so excited for it. I'm so glad I got to be there in spirit for it. And quite honestly, when it comes to like my ring announcing work, I'd say that'd be number 2 on like how I did, like how good I did. I have like a list of like how on what events I did, like, oh, I did good at this show. Okay, here's my second best show I've done. So,
okay. So you keep track of all your shows basically, and then just rank them from there. How many shows have you done so far?
Well, 1 second. Let me pull.
Because I do the same thing. Anytime I'm at a show, whether it's for just helping out or if I'm doing like camera work or anything, I keep track too. And I thought I was just a lunatic for.
So when it comes to ring announcing shows, I am at a whopping 55 shows.
Damn.
Yep.
So how long have you been in the business?
3 years? 3 years.
Damn.
Yeah, 3 years. 4 years is coming up in April.
Okay.
That vet card coming. Let's go.
The vet card. No longer a green kid.
No longer that green kid.
No longer having to pay your dues. I heard that you don't have to help set up the ring now after 4 years.
Man, after 4 years, if I don't get to set up that ring, man, no, I'm playing. I'm playing.
No, that's one of my favorite parts of like going to shows. Is helping set up. I don't know. It's just It's fun. It's fun to me. I don't know why people
it
like.
is fun. You get to like pick brains while you're sitting there moving things around, putting the ring together. You get to pick people's brains. Like, hey, asking for advice and shit like that.
No, definitely. Like, anytime I've helped set up or anything, like 9 times out of 10, it's just me and someone just fucking chit chatting, picking each other's brains. Whether they're asking me about podcasting or I'm asking them about ring announcing, about stuff like that. It's just, I feel like that's one of the most best times to do it too, because there's nothing to do other than help set up.
I will say, I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No, you're good.
When it comes to like setups and teardowns, Anarchy has like a good system on the setups and teardowns. Like they have that that little seminar they have after everything gets set up. That is so sick. I have not been there just yet because of course, my personal life is crazy as hell, and I'm trying my best to get down to Anarchy. But I've always wanted to sit in on those seminars and pick from Jalistico, Gary, and everybody that's there.
Yeah, no, it's crazy too because like if you want to try to get a seminar with the amount of knowledge that is with Gary, Dingo, and Jalistico, you usually have to pay a good amount of money. But all you have to do for those are just help set up, show up and help set up, and then you get that for free. 3 of the most like sharpest brains in the area too. But we're going to stray away from pro wrestling for a minute. I have to ask a question. I want to ask this to get to know you a little better. What is the nicest thing you've done for an elderly person?
An elderly person?
We're going to say above the age of 60. We'll categorize that as elderly. 60 and above.
I've never been asked that before. Nothing comes to mind. I'm just a shitbag, I guess.
It's one of my favorite questions because it catches you off guard, and like I said, I get to see how good of a person you are. You've never opened up a door for anyone?
Well, of course, I've opened up a door for people. I mean, I'm sitting there going into like a convenience store. Oh, here you go, dude. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
exactly.
Have a good. I do that here and there, and of course, like if I'm in a drive-through, I order food. I'm always nice to like the workers and stuff because, of course, that's how I grew up and that's how I was taught to be. Respect others.
Oh yeah, one of my biggest pet peeves is like people that are rude to fast food or just restaurant workers in general.
Dude, you can absolutely go straight to hell if you're rude to fucking fast food workers. Absolutely. This is a shoot
This
promo incoming. Like, I've worked in fast food for 3 years. No. I started being a manager at the age of 17. But from the age 17 and on, dude, there's been a lot of shitbag people who have been assholes. Like, I remember this was like COVID, peak COVID. It was Arby's. Somebody ordered a shitload of food, and there was a new person training. And the way we stocked things was like there was, we had our bags of sauces. Like, of course, take the Arby's sauce, put it here, horsey sauce, whatever. And she accidentally grabbed that bag, hands it to the customer, and the customer leaves. And dude comes back yelling at me, and I'm like, dude, they're new. Calm down. And he kept yelling. He wanted his money back, gave him back his money, and he stops and goes, wait, they're new? Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like, what? What?
Yeah, no, just I worked at Chick-fil-A for almost a year or so, and you want to talk
Yeah.
about rude customers because Chick-fil-A is known for the like kindness and like the employees are always going to be nice, and people used to like test that out and be like, "Oh, let's see how far we can go." But I was the complete opposite of being nice. If somebody started giving me attitude, I would just walk away from them, or I'd be like, "All right, yeah, right on, dude." Just walk off. Like I
Say recently, if like an employee gets mad at me or something, if they shoot off attitude for no reason, I stop in my tracks and go, listen, I don't need the attitude, and just look at them for a second until they get it.
Yeah, I don't know. I've worked in food for the better part of like 7 years or so. Like I've gone a couple stints here and there without working in food, but like I
Yeah.
can't wrap my head around like wanting to be rude to the employees anywhere, like retail or anything. Like
Right.
we're just all out here trying to make a living, brother.
Right.
So chat me up about Arby's.
Oh my God,
You have any
dude.
funny stories?
The most wildest times of me working. Ah, man. Let's see here. There's a story I can't tell because that person's in
Oh.
jail. Actually, no, they're not in jail, but they were in jail for a little bit. But there, there was a time between me and this other person. You know what? Let's stray away from that.
You started thinking of the
Man.
rest of the story, and you're like, never mind. Let's not do this one.
Yeah, let's not get there.
So what other food industry jobs have you had? Let's start there.
Man, there's Arby's, Taco Bell, Sonic. I know there's somewhere. Oh, I wouldn't count it, but Papa John's. That's where I'm at now. But hey, pizza.
What are you doing there? Driving?
I'm a manager. I run the store.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay, right on, right on.
yeah. We're deep diving into Chan Smith right now. We're like, let's get personal.
Yeah, there's viewers here wanting to hear about wrestling stories, hearing you bury the industry here, and I'm just over here. I'm like, so let's hear about Papa John's. What are the secret ingredients?
There's no secret ingredient. We just do it better, apparently.
All right. Taco Bell, is that real meat?
Is it real meat? I can't answer that.
Huh.
All I know is that there's a bag filled with beef thrown in a boiling pot of water, and then we throw it on our make line, and voila!
That doesn't sound appetizing. Like knowing how it's made.
Hey man, you should seen how the fucking refried beans were made.
Oh,
Trust
oh.
me, anytime I'd make that, I'm like, who has peanut butter? Because it smelled exactly like peanut butter. Anytime you'd make it.
Who has peanut butter? Oh God, that's not good. That's not
No,
good.
not at all.
So I want to talk about Thursday Night Throwdown. You were just part of a match between Anakin Murphy and Kenny Calix. Very personal match.
Very.
You took a gusset plate, if I remember seeing correctly, to the forehead.
Yeah. I don't know if you could see it that well, but hang on. I don't know if the scars are still there or not, but they're somewhat. No, you can't really see it. My camera sucks, but I will say that was the only time that you're gonna see me take a gusset plate or any deathmatch stuff at all. Because, dude, I woke up at 4 in the morning with a splitting headache,
I
and
bet.
I was like, "Oh man, this hurts."
I was gonna say, did he get it in there good? Because all I
yeah.
seen was a picture. I didn't see a video. Oh,
Yeah, he got it in there good. God.
So you said Anakin Murphy is one of your best friends and all of this.
Oh,
How
yeah.
does it make you feel seeing him do some of the shit he does?
Dude, Anakin's nuts. Like, let's be real. Anakin is crazy as hell with what he does in deathmatch stuff. And, like, I will say, I would love to do what he's doing. I would love to do it. But boy, is my pain tolerance not up just like his.
I don't know. I seen him do that the coffin drop through the light tube in the chair, and I'm
Yep.
just like if I was in the 01 dojo for that, I probably would have like had to walk out because I have a weak stomach. I cannot see people get hurt like that.
Yeah, man. It was nuts. I remember sitting on the outside. I was expecting for it to like go everywhere. And like there's this little curtain area where like the concessions is. I stepped behind that because I was like, I'm bracing for impact. And the concession stands ladies are yelling at me like, "Get out of here! Yada yada yada!" Like, okay, just wait for the glass, guys. Just wait for the glass. And there wasn't really a big explosion, but it was there. So
yeah. And then you put him in a match with Kenny, who also seemingly does not give a shit about their well-being either. I knew that match was just gonna be just off the charts.
Oh yeah, that match was off the charts. I enjoyed watching it, and then going back and watching it. Enjoyed watching that. I sat down with my dad and my girlfriend, and we watched the match, even though she was there live with me.
Yeah.
We sat there, and the gusset went in my head. My dad starts laughing, and I'm like, "Dad, what the hell is wrong with you? I am your son." And my girlfriend's family, she's all worried about like the whole family. Her grandma seen me take that gusset. She pulled me aside the day after and goes, "You're not gonna do that stupid stuff again, are you?" I was like, maybe, we'll see. But yeah.
So was your girlfriend a fan of wrestling before you guys met?
Yes, but no. So her family is related to a wrestler by the name of Mississippi Madman, and that's like her uncle. When she was younger, she used to go to all like the local shows that were happening in like Kincaid, Illinois. The weirdest thing too, we never knew each other, but we both went to the same wrestling shows in Kincaid, Illinois.
It's so cool.
Like it's like the invisible string thing, like
theory. Yeah.
And like we'd always go to these shows because her uncle Madman's wrestling on the card, and I'm there to watch because I'm a fan. Because me and my grandpa used to go all the time. I think she hears. She knows that I'm talking about her. Hi, babe. She says hi. But so like there is a picture I've sent to her before. She talks about Madman because she course, she misses Madman. I do too. Madman was a good dude. There's a picture of younger me, which is like, I don't know, maybe 11 or 12-year-old Shan Smith in a ring because Madman and Casey Jackson invited all the kids to get in the ring at this show. And there I am in front of Madman, like celebrating him winning the Central Illinois Pro Wrestling tag titles. And I believe she was in the background of the picture. So
That's so cool.
yeah.
Like you said, the invisible strength there. That's awesome. This next question is though, I'd be horrible to not ask it. Anakin Murphy wanted me to ask you about your favorite roommate.
My favorite roommate of all time would have to be Anakin Murphy. Like there is so much there between me and Anakin. I met Anakin back in 2019, early 2020. And this is, of course, for a academy that's no longer with us. Thank God. I will talk shit about them. I know I probably shouldn't, but it's whatever. But this academy, I started training there. Anakin walks in. This is when Mad Dog Conley, the Luminary, Anakin were all a part of this academy. And Anakin walks in talking to Mad Dog, and there was some funny comments made, and Anakin looked at me and seen my Jeff Hardy tattoo that I had, because of course, I'm a Jeff Hardy fan, and goes, "Hey, dude, nice Jeff tat." And then right there, we became friends.
Does the academy start with a D?
No.
Oh.
Starts with a B.
We'll talk about it off air. I don't want to. I don't want to say it and get people flustered. Right. But I think I might know who. But anyways, no, that's cool. So it was like the Step Brothers. Did we just become best friends?
Literally, it was that same exact moment. But let's say, when did he move in with me? I was at the apartment over on that street. I would have to say probably mid 2020 he moved in with me, and those were the best times of my life. We'd always stay up late watching like old wrestling matches, or we'd watch wrestling compilations or car crash compilations, because those were fun. There's also a story me and him like to tell once in a while, where I would get off work and we'd go straight to Bill's Toasties, which is like a little bar area, like a bar stool like restaurant in Taylorville.
Yeah,
it's on our town square, and we went there at like 2-3 a.m. Oh, Kenny remembers staying at the apartment once. Yeah, that's when Anakin moved in the first time. That's when I got to first meet Kenny Calix too. But we'd go there, and somebody crop dusted the hell out of that place, and you could smell it. One of the ladies looks at us, tries to blame us for it, and then she looks at the dude walking out and goes, "Oh my God, that drunk bastard just crop dusted us. We should beat his ass." And I was like, "What?" This is like that's the fun thing about Bill's Toasty. they have no filter there, which is like the best part about like the service.
I've heard that. I've heard of that place numerous times.
If you're ever in Taylorville, dude, you'd have to try it. It's amazing.
Do you have any other apartment stories?
Oh man, do I have any apartment stories? I don't think I do.
Podcast friendly apartment stories. I
mean, we had a cat named Salem at one point. Salem was really cool.
Kenny Calix says Bill's Toasty is insane.
Bill's Toasty is insane. Like my go-to menu item to order is a chicken strip horseshoe, and that is the best thing ever.
What's that?
Okay, so you're not from the Midwest.
I'm from St. Louis. Do
you know what a horseshoe is?
I think.
Okay, so horseshoe, I'll explain it. So it's Texas toast, hamburger, fries, melted cheese on top.
Yeah.
Nothing is though, you replace the hamburger for chicken strips, and
Oh,
golly, best shit
okay.
ever.
I have heard. Yeah, I know what that is. I heard somebody called that something else once, and I forgot what. But yeah, now that okay, that sounds amazing.
It is, dude. Like, that is my go-to menu item at Bill's Toasty. Was there any more apartment stories except for Salem and then the Bill's Toasty thing? I could not remember.
Kenny, if you're still listening or watching, what is your favorite menu item on Bill's Toasties
Yeah.
menu, Kenny?
Kenny, what's your go-to menu item?
Let me ask you this. So
What's
you've
up?
worked at all these fast food places.
Correct.
What is, in your opinion, the best fast food sandwich?
The best fast food sandwich. Ever heard of Meat Mountain
From Arby's, yeah.
from Arby's? Those were fun to make, but boy, they sucked ass. That's not the best though.
I could never imagine even trying to eat one of those.
No. So one of my old roommates that I had after Anakin ended up getting a Meat Mountain and tried splitting it with me. I took one bite and I was like, I don't know. I don't know about this.
When I worked at Five Guys, we had a kid order a 4-patty hamburger, or cheeseburger, which if you've been to Five Guys, you know that is not cheap. Oh, wait a minute. My go-to Bill's Toasty order is toasted cheese with a side of chili with some onion rings. All right.
Hell
All
yeah.
right.
Their onion rings are all right. Their grilled cheese is amazing. Onion rings.
Is that what a toasted cheese is? It's just grilled cheese. Is that what you mean? Okay.
Yeah.
But no, this kid, he was probably like the size of Anakin, honestly. And he's like, "Can I get a four patty cheeseburger and a large fry?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "For here." And I was like, "Okay." And he ate it all in like 10 minutes or so.
Damn.
And then like he
Damn.
came up to the counter. He's like, "Oh, can I get a milkshake?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure, dude." He fucking drinks all of that. And then he just like goes on with his day. And to this day, I do not understand. I do not get how he was able to do that, because that is
God.
just so
Hell
much
no.
food.
That is.
Especially the large
Goddamn.
fries feeds like fucking an army of 20 people.
Damn. So I've never had Five Guys.
There, have you had trying to think. Have you had like Shake Shack? Have you had
No.
In-N-Out?
No.
Okay. Whataburger?
I have, and you're lucky that I know the Whataburger. I was going to Florida and had to stop in Dallas, and yeah. So,
Going to Florida and you stopped in Dallas?
so the way the planes are set
Oh.
up here in Taylor, like in Illinois, so the cheapest flight for Springfield was like you had to stop in Chicago and then go from Chicago to Dallas to Florida. It was a weird setup.
I thought you meant you were doing a road trip, and I'm like, you went the wrong way. You are.
Yeah, went the wrong way. But I had like a small layover in Dallas, and I ended up eating Whataburger there.
Kenny says, I remember Shan coming in during my lunch break at Burger Board when they finalized a date for No Ring, No Hope, and got told who my OG opponent was. His OG opponent for No Ring, No Hope?
Yeah, his original opponent for No Ring, No Hope.
Was it not always Davey?
No, it wasn't. Not always Davey.
You don't have to say. I don't know
if I could deep dive into that, because I don't know what the plans are for the next one. If there is a next one.
Don't say it on air, and don't say it in the comments, Kenny. Please, I don't want it.
Yeah,
I don't want Anakin
don't.
Murphy to cancel me. Oh wait, no, I think I might know because I think Kenny told me. Anyways, Burger Board, I've heard that place too. Isn't that?
Oh God, Burger Board's like a what's the word I'm looking for here? It's kind of like Bill's Toasty, but with a bigger budget. I would say it's kind of like Steak and Shake in a way.
Okay.
That's how like when I walked into Burger Board, that's all I seen was like Steak and Shake.
Okay.
So
Okay.
Burger Board was amazing that day because course, Kenny was making it.
That sounds super funny. Like it sounds like a sitcom. Like you're just walking into work and Kenny's back there flipping burgers and he's like, "Hey Kenny, come here. I found out who your next opponent is."
It's like a gauntlet styled like Mortal Kombat
Yeah.
show. All right, Kenny, got to get prepared. I know you're flipping burgers, brother, but got to get prepared.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious. No, because Jason Klein, anytime I'm out in Illinois, Jason will text. He'll tell
Yep.
me, he's like, "Get Burger Board if you can. Get Burger Board if you can." There's what's that barbecue restaurant that was right by War Games that we all stopped and got food at? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I wasn't there for that, but I know what you're talking about because Decatur's not far from Taylorville.
They had a food truck inside the venue also, and then you could just go next door to
Yeah.
get food because it was literally next door. I'm trying to think.
I don't remember the name of it, but they from what I believe, everybody loves going there. They had like an after party for Zero.
Yeah, I
One
think
there.
it was only for like they closed, but they reopened for like anyone that was at 01.
Yeah.
And I just remember them having really fucking good food. So my next question is, while we're on the topic of saying nice things about people, we're gonna go back to that.
Mhm.
3 nice things about Mad Dog Connolly, or any
Dude,
stories you
I
have
have-
with Mad Dog.
Let's see here. Mad Dog Conley. Again, creative. Aggressive, but in a nice way. God damn, what's that one word that I'm looking for here?
Scary.
No, I mean, yeah. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Anytime that they had me do anything with Mad Dog, I'd always like get scared because I'm like, damn, this dude gut wrenched me, man. There's a photo around here somewhere on the interwebs of Mad Dog gut wrenching me. But so creative, aggressive in a nice way, and fuck, what is that one word? I'm always stumped on that one word.
Versatile.
Yeah, we'll say versatile. Like, honestly, when it comes to like wrestlers and stuff, Chan got gut wrenched suplex. I remembered it vividly.
I no longer flip burgers. That job was insane, Squints. When I'm on here, I'm going to give you the rundown on all my crazy fast food stories. Shan got gut wrenched suplexed. I remember it vividly. We do need to get you on, Kenny. We do need to get you on. We'll make that happen.
Definitely.
But Versatile was the lesson.
Yeah. Well, let's see here. Do I have any stories with Mad Dog? There's, man, I don't know why my brain's not working right now, but there's, so during the whole rivalry, I'm going to get a little behind the curtain. During the whole rivalry between Joey and Mad Dog, we were going to play the whole thing of Chan gets kidnapped. Mad Dog kidnapped Chan Smith. And I was up for the idea. And we were sitting in this cold basement, and he had me wrapped around the chain, and it was a cool visual, amazing visual. We're after like the cameras went off, we'd crack jokes, do whatever, but it was a good time. Yeah, I think that's my only story.
Kind of like how when Mad Dog kidnapped Zach, because didn't he do he did that too?
Yeah.
So what is the craziest? You said Mad Dog gut wrenched suplexed you. What is probably the scariest or craziest bump you've taken, if that makes sense?
Oh man.
Not necessarily most
Oh,
painful, but like in the moment you thought it was going to be more painful, or you thought it was going to go wonky. If I'm making any sense.
So like when it comes to like the most I'm gonna start off with the one that hurt the most, but it was very basic. Angler from Thursday Night Throwdown got me up for a sidewalk slam, and we had a battle royal right afterwards. And basically, Angler picked me up. Bam, went well. He now keep in mind, I'm a very fragile boy, and I bump so often, but I bumped and my back, you're done. You're done. And there was a battle royal right afterwards. I was supposed to be a part of, but my back was killing me
Yeah.
afterwards. And I rolled out and like had to grab up on the rope and stuff to like move to get out of there. I would say that one hurt the most, even though it was like a very basic thing. And I'm fine now. For a little bit. I still kind of have back pain here and there, but that's just me. That's whatever. I had no issue with it. Fucking the most like craziest bump. So when Mad Dog Gut Wrench, I would say that was probably the craziest one. Because again, I'm a big dude. I don't leave my feet.
Yeah.
I do not leave my feet whatsoever. Conley got me up for it and threw me, and I was like, ah. It was a moment in time where I was like, man, this is really slow. Literally. I was like, when am I going to hit the ground? There you go.
Connolly is one of the like freakishly strong people.
Dude, yes.
Like
absolutely.
At War Games, just watching him toss around Tanner.
Oh, yeah.
Like, and that was my only time I've seen them wrestle. I heard they've had other matches, and I need to go back and watch. But that match, like, just watching Connolly just with ease,
Right.
just picking him up. Like, and
Yeah.
I've watched him do it to other people too. Like, he doesn't care.
Right. He does
Like,
not care. Mad Dog, like, out of everybody that I have met, and I'm like, man, they're freakishly strong. Conley's up there.
Well, I just seen he was posting something on his Facebook. He squatted some insane weight the other day, and I was like, I knew you were strong, but Jesus, not that fucking strong. Like,
Yeah.
it makes
Strong
me want
boy.
to it makes me want to see him face off against some more people. Like,
Oh, yeah,
now,
definitely.
because I have a list in my phone that's like Mad Dog dream matches. If I ever
Dude,
come into
when
some
New Wave was running and West Vigo Community Center, actually, no, this wasn't at the West Vigo Community Center. This was in Paris, Illinois, at their like high school gym or something. New Wave had Mad Dog Conley versus Crash Jackson. That was my first time seeing Crash Jackson, and I was hooked on Crash Jackson after that. But they had a fucking amazing match, and I like to go back and watch it at times.
Yeah. Well, like, he also at DPW, he just picked up Jake something with ease.
Right.
With fucking ease. Like, that's Jake something. That dude is the definition of just built of stone. Like,
meat.
Yeah. So, while we're on the topic of War Games, that's probably the Decatur Civic Center is probably one of my favorite venues I've seen. What is your favorite venue that you have been that you've worked a show on?
Dude, my favorite venue of all time to like work in and be in. Let's see here. I've been a part of the High Wow Clubhouse. They have the piss bucket. Thursday Night Throwdown has a nice locker room. But let's see here. Man. When it comes to like venues and locker rooms, I would have to say like the best one would be Edgewood. They have they recently started running shows in this like grade school, like old grade school that got like shut down recently. And like they have it's not really the locker room or anything, but it's just a room in there that has like a TV that works, internet and everything. I think this was Bad Blood, like when Bad Blood was happening.
Yeah.
And myself, Robert, Kenny, Luminary, we sat there and we watched a little bit of Peacock before the show started, and then we got kicked out of that room because we weren't supposed to be a part of that, like in that room. But it was pretty cool venue, I will say.
Or the gymnasium for Paulcade that Zach did this year.
Dude, yeah,
that was so cool.
That
so
was
cool. Like, it was just a gymnasium, but it was like
large.
Yeah, like it was the size of a small school.
Yeah,
like that was a real cool one. And the only complaint I have about that is the front bathroom. The bathroom at the entrance was kind of weird. There was no door, and then like the urinal was in an odd place when the sink was like in a different room. But anyways, that venue was cool. Now let me ask, what's your least favorite venue you've worked a show in?
The IWAU Clubhouse. It's in Noble, Illinois. I mentioned the piss bucket. If you are a wrestler and you have to piss, there's a little curtain you go behind, and there's a bucket you piss in.
Wow.
You want to talk about the Deep South, buddy?
the comics.
Yeah, Peoria. Oh my God, I forgot about that. I was there for that. So they had like a Comic-Con in Peoria, Illinois.
Yeah.
01 was running like a small show during the Comic-Con. And the cool thing about it, there was 01, and then there was a meet and greet with Jake Roberts right next door.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and the cool thing about where this was, I think it was like the Peoria Civic Center. That is the same venue Great Khali debuted for WWE.
Oh, no way.
I pulled up. I was like, wait a second, because my dad used to go to like the SmackDown tapings and stuff anytime they'd be in Peoria or anywhere closer. And my dad told me the story of, like Jake Roberts' meet and greet was actually near the ring. But my dad told me the story of when Great Khali debuted, and it was at the Peoria Civic Center. So I was like, wait a second, I know this venue. My dad tells me about it all the time because So I would say, you know what? I changed my mind. The Peoria Civic Center venue was amazing.
I think one of my favorite, most unique venues I've seen a show be ran in is Pizza Records for No Ring No Hope.
Oh, hell yeah.
When I walked in there, I'm not going to lie. When I walked in there for the first time, I was like, how the fuck is this going to work? And then as like the day went on that I went on, I was like, okay. Yeah. And it just like perfect. That is a perfect venue for no ring shows.
Absolutely. The people that we met with to run No Ring No Hope, they were super nice, super cool to be like talking to. The lady who, of course, that was like, so how's this all gonna work? Anakin flipped on his phone and started showing her like the No Ring show that he was a part of in Ohio for Unsanctioned, I think it was.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, okay, that's really cool. And then we did the show. We talked to the people there, and I will say, Anakin probably won't be happy that I say this on air, but I think it's really cool. They want us to come back.
That's actually super cool.
Yeah.
And that's very cool for you guys in general too.
Oh, yeah.
Like for everyone part of Tax Return No Ring, all of that.
And like we got front page. No, I mean, Hippie Johnny and Gwen Neodana, they got front page from that show on the Jacksonville Blotter or whatever.
Yeah, I remember I went out that side door, and I think you were talking to the reporter.
Yep.
And because I was talking to you, and you're like, "Here, hold on, I have to talk to someone." And you came up to me, and you're like, "I'm going to be in the newspaper." And I was like, "What the fuck?" And then
I know, right? I was like, I've never been a part of a newspaper, and I fucking brag.
No, that was awesome. My favorite part of that show was, this is my one and only interaction I've had with Papa Pullman. Me and Linz are walking to her car. I'm carrying like the tripod bag. I'm carrying all my gear. My fucking pants are falling down because I don't have a belt on. And Papa Pullman's just out there smoking a cigarette. And he walked past me, goes, "Great work tonight, huh?" And I turned around and I was like, "Damn right." And he goes, I'm not going to say Anakin's shoot name, but he goes, "Blank did a great job tonight, don't you think?" And I said, he sure the hell did. And he was like, "It was awesome. It was awesome." And I was like, "Yeah." And we just kind of stood there for like 10 seconds in silence, waiting for him to say something else. And he just, I was like, all right, you have a good night, Papa Pullman. I just kept walking. But it was just fun. It felt like it felt like a movie scene. Like you're walking by like a mob boss just smoking a cigarette.
Right.
He goes, great work tonight, huh? And I was like, what the fuck? Because
Dude,
Papa
Papa
Pullman's-
Pullman has that aura.
dude, he does. And like I've told Anakin this, I think, but his dad was made for wrestling.
Yes,
Like,
he was. Absolutely. I agree. Absolutely.
I do not think Papa Pullman understands that he is 100% meant to be a worker. He has
yeah.
like you said, the aura for it,
Mm.
his cadence, his delivery on his promos.
Right.
Like, come on. Like,
I've heard wrestlers and like in the back here, Papa Pullman cut a promo, and they're like, and he doesn't do this.
when he was doing the promo of him like sitting on the back of the truck drinking like a Mountain Dew or something for the match against Dangler. I
yeah,
remember watching that promo of him like leaving the truck, going inside, going through the tackle box, and I was like, this man is a worker. This man is,
absolutely certified worker.
like that like I'm not gonna lie, that was the most anticipated match for me at tax return. I was like, I
Fuck
need
yeah.
to see this. But yeah, no, he's like he has that intimidating cadence to him, but I've heard he's
does.
also one of the most nicest people in the world. So
Oh yeah, he's the sweetest guy I've ever met. The night before No Ring No Hope, I had some like personal things happening, and I went from Springfield. I was at work. Something happened to my dad. Went to the hospital, and then from there, went from the hospital all the way to Jacksonville to Pop Pullman's house, and he let me stay the night and like basically stay in town for No Ring No Hope.
that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah,
So
I'm forever grateful for the Pullman family.
so this last and final question, I ask every single guest this.
No, I do not watch the Jersey Shore.
No, not that's not this
okay.
one. Not this
You
one.
got me.
Not that one. I figured you didn't, so I wasn't gonna ask that one.
All right.
This one is a more serious one. If you could give any piece of advice to anyone, it doesn't have to be related to wrestling. It doesn't have to be related to fast food,
Mhm.
just life. What would it be?
Be nice to others, because you never know what the other person's going through. A little bit of niceness could take that person a long way. Like, of course, smile at somebody, be like, "Hey, how are you?" You know, just be nice.
All right. And then is there anything or no, before that, do you want to let the people know where they can find you on social media,
Oh, definitely.
upcoming shows, stuff to that nature?
All right. Where
Where
you
they
can
can find
find me
you.
when it comes to social media would have to be on X at enthusiast_BMC, on the Instagram, which I'm rarely on, but I'm still on there. BigManChan_01. And of course, the next time you'll see me next to a ring, in a ring, or ring announcing, of course, is going to be every Thursday night in Edgewood, Illinois at Thursday Night Throwdown. I have no bookings for 2025. So if you want to book a dead guy, hit me up. I ring announce.
He is cheaper than the other dead man that is taking bookings, The Undertaker.
Exactly.
So if you want the real dead man, book Shan. And then is there anything else you want to say before we wrap this up?
This has been A Man and His Podcast with the Enthusiast BMC.
All right, that's gonna do it for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. You can leave a thumbs up, a thumbs down, 1 star, 5 star, like, comment, subscribe to all that stuff, or don't. I don't give a shit. That's gonna do it for this episode. Be safe. Have a good night.
Boom.
Oh wait.